to strap in and get ready. The leaders in NRL SuperCoach are incoming. Bringing you the ultimate insight to help you win your leagues and climb up the rankings. You're now listening to the Insight NRL Show with your hosts, Brain, Mattrix, and Whisperer.
G'day everyone, welcome back to the Insight NRL Show. It is head-to-head finals, grand final time. So for some of us, there's plenty of cash on the line. More importantly, there's bragging rights up for grabs. You're watching the Round 26 preview show. We've got the full team on deck as always, Mattrix, Whisperer, and myself. Matty, how are you, mate? What's been happening this week? I know that you're in plenty of head-to-head grand finals. You know, the rank's looking good. Tell me about what you're thinking this week.
No, I did lose my head-to-head semis by one Gregory Marju ruining my season, and not only that, but my hopes and dreams. I did actually move up spots last week. Sorry, I'm just 31, 127, and yeah, I'm into like 7,000th, which isn't too bad considering how I've sort of started. But yeah, honestly, not much is going on in my SuperCoach world. I'm sort of waiting for NBL SuperCoach to drop or drop out. News on that? Yeah.
Be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's on the way. It's not far away as a few other things are on the way, I'm sure, at SCHQ. Josh, how are you going, mate? What's happening on your end?
Not much, mate. Not much. Yeah, just getting the boys ready for a big grand final. Captain's run soon, so about 6 of them showed up. So yeah, not too far off the numbers that we'll have on the weekend, to be honest. But no, it's good. It's good. Obviously, being in the grand final, cash is already made. I've broken even on SuperCoach buy-ins this year, which is great. I'm playing for like 6K this weekend, so yeah, should be good. Should be fun. Just got to win a fortnight before we went live. So that's always a good start, you know, getting a victory royale before we hit the record, which is good. 2K's out this weekend. EPL, I'm ranked pretty well on that, so everything's good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to 2K coming out. It's that time of the year where I set my alarm for between midnight and 2 a.m. on whenever it is that it comes out, and it's going to be Saturday. Saturday 2 a.m. It comes out this week. So it's compulsory to jump in the builder for about half an hour and make my build and then go back to bed. So we'll see whether we can follow through on that again. Having 2 kids that don't love sleep, that might be a challenge. Maybe I'll just stay up. We'll see how we go. But fair bit on the line. So obviously this show is going to be very catered towards, I guess, a head-to-head grand final matchups. You know, we'll look at the round that is, and hopefully help you target some games that you want to have a crack at, and see if whether maybe you want to use those last trades to hopefully win your final, bring in that last little player that can get you an advantage in your head-to-head matchup. Before we do, hit subscribe and like, guys. We would appreciate that. It helps the show get out to more people. And if you're listening to us on audio, hit the follow button, leave us a 5-star review. If you enjoyed the content, it's been a very enjoyable year this year. It's round 26. We've got one more round to go. We've obviously got SC finals. The content will be dulled down just a tad through that period, but you're still going to see us regularly. But if you want to support the show, it will go a long way. Hit that button down below. SuperCoach NRL Finals, of course, as we mentioned, is here. We've got 4 more weeks of SuperCoach footy, which is great. We're doing a free league. The league code is 605711. That's 605711. Jump on in. We're still giving away standard squeeze prize packs every single week to the winner of that league. And we'll give away a 12-month subscription to Patreon as well for the overall winner. So jump on in that and take us on. Today's show, like I said, squeeze of the week, top scorer in the Unlimited League. We'll talk through the top options from the best matchups for head-to-head grand finals. We'll talk captains as well. Matty, there might be a change in the overall Insight Unlimited leaderboard at the moment with 2 rounds to go.
Fuck, that is spicy. We do have a new leader, and it's Tobe, coach of the Stonecutters, who has come from the clouds, and he's into 11th overall, leading the Insight League. But the prize winner this week was Nathan, not you. coach of the back fence Brown with a 17-12, which was top 20 when it comes to score of the round. I can't believe a 17-12 is just like top 20 nowadays. But that was JMK, Haas, Taps, RTS, Hopper, Drinky, any VC Loop Turbo. So, hop into our DMs, mate, and claim your prize.
17-12.
Wheels down for Justin Toto.
Oh.
Yeah, just Toto good. No.
Good,
Yeah. Poor bloke I wouldn't say he had a shocker, but he went sub 1400 last week in a week where a lot of teams, made some big moves. So I think from memory, Toby might have got nearly 1600 this week. New leader and a bit up for grabs to win in this one. So congrats to him. Good on him. And obviously. I saw a comment here that I had to laugh at from Jay Walt. Ivan Cleary never makes it into his head-to-head grand final. He's rested all of his players. He's given up on the head-to-head grand final. He's happy to play for 6th or 5th this year, which to be fair is smart from him. We'll have a chat about that and the mass restings a little bit later, which has caused a fair bit of chaos across the SuperCoach world. Let's have a chat about the games this week. No hot topics this week. It is very clear what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the matchups that we will be targeting this week. Now, Souths are on the bye, boys. I don't know how many people have a lot of Souths players, but hopefully you've got maybe one. Maybe it's maybe you went and bought Keon like Mattrix last week. Or maybe you took a punt on Alex Johnston. At least you'll have one player on the bye there to rely on for your loop. But before we get into these games, Josh, head-to-head grand finals, there are some tactics that you want to probably employ when it comes to, looking at your VC and your C and utilising that player on a bye so that you can make decisions as late as possible. What's your advice for people if they're, maybe looking for a leg up for their head-to-head grand final?
Yeah, use a Souths player, not an NPR. It just gives you way more flexibility, way more freedom. You basically get your AE as well straight away. So you can basically be monitoring your head-to-head scores as the week goes on. Nothing worse than putting your captain on a guy that hasn't been named, obviously, but the app hasn't registered that he's not playing. So you're sitting there waiting for an AE to come in. It's hard to calculate with flex dropping out and stuff like that. So yeah, your South guys are going to be gold this week, especially for looping. And there's a couple of pretty juicy, pottish loop matchups that we'll touch on. But yeah, especially if you've only got 19 players, you can just leave one of your players on the bench, and not put a reserve on them, because obviously you'll start your South guy, he'll drop out, then the AE will come in like a singular AE. So yeah, if you're in the WhatsApp and you're in that predicament, please tag either three of us and we can help you out during the weekend. Yeah,
for sure. I think a lot of people are going to be probably struggling for numbers. Matty, how are you looking this week numbers-wise? Like, you full team, 17? How are you looking?
Yeah, I've got 17. Cleary and Katoa were some that I kind of didn't... I kind of anticipated that Cleary would maybe get dropped. Sat. But Cleary, Katoa, and Marju were ones I really didn't calculate on, and I'm still holding Garrick there. But I feel like 17 is probably pretty good for most super coaches this week, so I feel okay about that.
Yeah, I think as long as you've got 17, you just sacrifice your flex. Your flex doesn't drop out. You don't have a player that drops out, so you just got to ride or die with your 17 that you've got. If you've got 18... you can have your NPR, your buy player on the field, and you're still going to get that 18th player off the bench anyway. So there's zero risk there, and probably makes it easier to loop a little bit later in the round potentially. If you know you're already going to get that AE, you can take a later VC potentially in the week and have a look at how your matchup's shaping up as to how you want to approach that a little bit later. So yeah, there are a few different things you can do there. Let's have a chat about the first game, Dogs versus the Panthers. This is the one, I guess, that's on the tips of everyone's tongues. There's mass restings. 16 out of the 17 regulars for the Panthers have been rested, however you want to say it. Penrith Panthers and Ivan Cleary have basically given up on the top four, and they're happy to sacrifice their, let's call it a home ground advantage, which isn't really a home ground advantage at CommBank Stadium, to give their guys a bit of a rest coming into finals, which, Josh, we spoke on the Q&A last night. I don't see an issue with it. I think it's a pretty smart move, really.
Yeah, like I've got no issue with it. I can understand some punters out there that are like, oh, fans that pay good hard money to watch them, and well, like, unfortunately, life's not fair. You don't get everything you want in life, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. It makes sense. They need a Christmas miracle to make top 4, and yeah, they can't drop out of the 8, and there is no home ground advantage. I just want to have a look at the ladder really quickly, because I have a strange suspicion that they will play. I mean, the worst case scenario for them is to come 8th, because then they have to travel to Brisbane. But anything else, any other combination, they finish with the Sydney game. So yeah, they don't want to be coming 8th, but
I think so long as they win next week, they should finish 7th or 6th, right?
They're 3 points clear. So if the Chooks win and they lose, they're still a point in front of the Roosters. So their destiny still is in their hands, even if they do throw this week. And I'm sure Ivan has factored that in. That's
for sure.
They'd love a Sydney game. Worst case is Broncos move up, Waz drop down, and they lose back-to-back and end up having to go to New Zealand. But yeah, when you're talking about that sort of stuff, it doesn't really matter. It's like talking about a team to make it the mathematical 8.
Yeah, exactly. No kick out for the Dogs either. Josh Curran moves to the edge there for the Dogs. Edwards. Yeah, real interest. How many infections? I know physio's on this one, but there is a lot of infections this year. I don't know where they've all come from, but
yep.
If you've got a tinfoil hat story, drop it in the comments about why you think it's happening. Matty, Dylan Edwards is the most sold player this week. Nathan Cleary is the 5th most sold player this week. Obviously people are trying to win their head-to-head matchups. A lot of people, I think we forget, play head-to-head. For the most part, they're not overall grinders like us that really give a shit about round 27. So people are just going ham, moving on the expensive players in the good positions to try and win their matchup this week. Who's your pick for Dylan Edwards' replacement, or would you replace Dylan Edwards or Cleary if you had a choice?
Well, I'll have you know that last night I couldn't sleep. So on Instagram, it said, "Can you make?" That you can make an AI, and you feed all this information into your AI so that when people visit your page, you can contact my AI. So my AI is called Scout, and I created him for NFL, NRL, so that you can ask him questions. And it says Scout, a very dashing-looking, curly-headed man in a suit that's wearing his hat backwards. For NRL SuperCoach, I'd pick Ryan Pappenhausen as captain this week. The Storm have a solid record at Suncorp. They're playing the Dolphins. So I might have to go back to my algorithm a little bit, but it won't be selling Edwards to Ryan Pappenhausen.
You're going to have to go back and tweak that algorithm just a tad.
Yeah. Long story short, I probably think Reece Walsh has the best matchup this week. So
if you don't if you're a very small minority, Josh, and you don't have Nico Hines, Cleary to Hines should be the easiest trade of the week, realistically.
Yeah, 100%. Agreed. Like, Hines is by far and away the best pick. If you don't have him, I think he'll be a head-to-head killer. I don't think you'll lose your head-to-head. His base is just too good. His floor's just there. But if you don't have him, yeah, he's absolutely a killer. There are some other ones like Matty. I asked the question last night: is Will Kennedy a buy? And Braino didn't immediately shut it down, which is interesting. But there's actually a couple of good matchups if you wanted to go poddish. I think Crichton's got a good matchup if you wanted to go for a center. I think Braino, you mentioned Mulatalo, Katoa, like Kale Ero as well, Turbo. They all have great matchups. So I think you can look away from Edwards, especially if you are just playing round 26, and even if you're playing round 27 as well. Like, I think Will Kennedy scores more points over the next 2 weeks than Edwards does. So if that's one way you want to look at it,
yeah, rate it. If you had to make the decision, you can sell one Cleary, Edwards, Yo, or where's the priority? What position are you targeting? I guess is a better question. If you've got one trade left, are you looking at that centre wing upside, knowing that a few of these guys have a pretty good matchup? Are you looking at fullback replacements? How are you playing it, Matty?
Oh, to win, I would probably go a centre wing or a fullback. I think where we thought that this was going to be the golden year of 2RFs, it kind of hasn't panned out. Me looking at a bunch of guys that I paid a lot of money for, scoring in the mid-60s on average for the year. I would just go with the theme there and, yeah, go hard at centre wing or fullback. Or, again, Nico Hines, great shout. Even, dare I say, Jaden Campbell, somebody like that. So,
yeah, rate it. Yeah, we'll talk about him a bit later, I'm sure. And we'll also talk about Jacob Carraz a little bit later, playing against the Panthers second grade side. So we'll cover him in a later part of the show. Warriors versus the Eels at Go Media Stadium. Both teams are 1-17. There really isn't a ton to talk about here. It's Lomax and RTS, I think, are the options here in this team. And quick shout out to Fresh Prince. How have we not learned from AI Hot Tips Leilua to be the 2RF1? And then he said he'll stick with Braino and the Kelmer shout, which could be worse than AI. So shout out to Fresh Prince for that. I'd take Matty's AI over my tip on Kelmer this year. So lucky I could bail before he ruined me completely. RTS, it's RTS this week, isn't it? The Eels concede the most tries to left wingers in the comp. It's 20 tries to left wingers. I mean, is he, Matty, you said centre wing or fullback would be the target. Is it RTS as like potentially at the top of the list?
Riddle me this first. Who do you think's going to win this game? Because I think the Eels will probably win, which is like just with the Eels' form and the Warriors' woes in the last... I know they keep winning, but I don't know. The Eels have been kind of giant killers in the last couple of weeks, which worries me about RTS. On
paper, I feel like they've been better. Does that mean I feel great about them? Still no. It's hard because, the Warriors are so much better in New Zealand. It's a tough road trip, so you've got to kind of take a little bit from the Eels on that road trip. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, if you don't own Lomax or RTS, who's your pick, Josh?
Connor Tracy?
Yeah, okay. So anywhere but the Warriors and the Eels. I reckon that's probably a good shout that we can move on.
I worry about this game because it just reeks of two teams that just packed it in. Like the Warriors obviously still playing for a lot, but the wheels are coming off. Mm-hmm. They're coming to a screeching halt. And I think Warriors fans also agree. But yeah, I don't know like what I can take from this game. And like I've got a lot of RTS stock and he's a unique in every one of my head-to-head GFs. So yeah, like I'm not investing into this game. If I didn't own RTS, I think I'd be okay. Maybe anti-potting. If I didn't own Lomax, probably the same thing. And just look elsewhere for this week. So I think there's just better things.
Don't read the name here, but
pause. Janus says reigning in New Zealand game time. Wires need to win. Lock in top 4. Low scoring affair. Consider sitting Lomax. If you're sitting Lomax, Hugh. Janus, then you're in a much better spot than me because I have 16 people and 2 of them are Kane Bradley and Latufenu. So you're a better man than me.
Yeah, it's amazing what trades do in round 26. None of us have any. Sorry, actually, if any of my head-to-head opponents are watching this, I have 3 trades and a boost, so just watch out. But I mean, Fresh Prince makes a good point. Do New Zealand need it more? They're sitting 4th at the moment. Like they kind of do need to continue to fucking have a dig. You can't just pack up shop. I know that they're probably not going to go deep into finals, missing their main guys, but they kind of still need to turn up, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I want to date Sydney Sweeney, but like sometimes you just don't get to make things happen. That's my only concern. Like you can want it everything you want, but it's a case of like, can they get the job done? I don't know. And the Eels just seem like a side that can just randomly turn it on. We've seen that a couple of times this year.
DWZ a shout? No, not in this game. Not in my opinion. Let's move on because this is probably a game I'm trying to move past. I think Warriors Eels. I'm just going to kind of bank it, especially if there's rain around. I'm just going to go. You know what? I'll play RTS. I'll play Lomax, but I'm not going to target this game for my final trade to try and win my grand final head-to-head. You said that there's 2 teams that really have fuck all to play for, and let me raise you the final game of this round that we will cover very soon. That's probably could be worse and might be where I'm targeting as well. So let's move to the Roosters and the Storm. It's at Amy Park. Storm arresting Katoa, Coates, Meaney, Harry Grant suspended, Kane Bradley saves people. If you had him as an A or as a DNP is enough, then he comes in on the wing, which is a great spot to be. Daniel Tupou, he's back in to replace Junior Tupou. Sam Walker, he's out with the HIA. Sandon Smith, saving my ass, returning in the 6. Thank God for not having enough trades at hooker to just move him on. James Tedesco is the 7th most sold player. Sam Walker's the 6th, I can get around that. James Tedesco is the 7th most sold player, but also still captained by 16.3% of Supercoaches. So I'm assuming just people haven't opened the app yet to change that. Are you urging people to get that armband off Teddy, Mattrix?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Like it could. My guy, I've brought him in for the finals. I'm excited. He's gonna win me. I've brought him in for this. I don't know. Fucking Melbourne are missing people, and Teddy will probably score 200 this week, and it doesn't matter. So perfect.
Matrix been to the school of hard knocks over the last fortnight with his fullback trades. That's for sure.
Don't ask me about fullback. Ask Scout AI, my AI from Instagram.
Yeah, rate it, love it. Look, again, probably a match. Initially, I was looking at potentially sitting Mark Nwang and Ituaze, but one, I can't, and two, no Xavier Coates makes me feel a bit better about that matchup. I think in the air, I was looking at it going, oh, he's matching up against Coates. Like, no, not going to happen. But I think I like it now. Who's going to be on the left wing for the Storm, Josh? Who is it? You're pretty good at this shit.
Isn't it?
Is it Kane Bradley on the left or the right? Because he's played on the right.
I don't reckon he drops out. So
Will Warbrick's on the extended bench, I think, for the Storm.
I don't reckon he drops out. So he drops out, I'm cooked. Actually cooked.
Farlongo and Warbrick are on the extended. Yeah, he's right. Be wary of Kane Bradley. Yeah, he probably drops back into a shitty little 14-17 jersey role, doesn't he?
You know what? I'll still take that.
Just need a number. It's Latu Fainu and bench Kane Bradley on the carry.
It'll be better than that. If I win my head-to-head this week, it'll be better than that Queensland victory, like in 95 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Gross. Hughes on the money there. Kane Bradley back to the bench, comes on with 9 minutes to go. And look, you will take those 4 points. It'll be the best 4 points.
Like a Harry Grant-esque junk time at the end where he ends up on 46. So.
That could actually happen. Let's move on. Raiders, Tigers. It's at GIO. As a Tigers fan, I don't feel good about this. This is
a battle of the Cancuns as well, by the way. This is a team. Explain. This is a game where neither team have anything. If the Storm lose, this is a shit show because the minor premiership would be basically locked up. And,
I am very, very concerned as a Hudson Young owner that when the Storm win against the Roosters, he ends up sat. Yeah. Look, Dewey's out for the season. He's the 3rd most sold player this week. Latu Fainu gets the job at 7. Staffatoa also comes in for Brent Naden. Savelio Tamale, he's back for the Raiders. I kind of really like him in this matchup, to be honest. I think he's a guy that I'd be looking at if I had a trade left. The Tigers concede 18 tries to left wingers. It's Skelton. They've swapped Skelton and Taruva. That's the only thing that kind of throws out the numbers a little bit because all the tries early on in the season went down Taruva's side on the right, and then they've swapped the wingers' sides. So, yeah, it's hard to get a gauge on whether the left or the right is a good matchup against the Tigers. But, yeah, look, Staffatoa being back on that right side probably helps the left side defence. Probably makes it a bit harder for Tamale, but he's a BP beast. So I feel pretty good about buying him as a bit of a left field pod. Anybody else from the Raiders that you'd look at, Josh, for this matchup against the Tigers? Because I feel like we're being good. We're being good up until now, but I feel like maybe now that we're ruled out and we can't make the 8, the wheels might fall off a tad.
Yeah, there's no one in really key positions I'd take a punt on. Like the Hudson Young, you worry about restings if Melbourne lose. Then you've also obviously got like Fogarty maybe. I mean, Ethan Strange could be a vibes pick if you were looking.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a bit of a pod, but I don't reckon this will be like a bloodbath. I think Raiders will win, but I don't think it's going to be like anything drastic.
I think, Stranger's on Luai's side, so I feel a little bit better that, that defensive edge, especially Sione Fainu, he's been awesome defensively for us since he come onto the right edge. So, yeah, definitely feel better about it. But, yeah, Strange and Tamale are the two guys that I would look at.
Timoko versus May will be a really, really nice little matchup to watch as well.
I think Timoko will be an absolute turnstile. If you bought Taylor May last week, it could be an absolute fucking bloodbath on that side. I reckon he could do a number on Matty Timoko. He's been really suspect defensively. So, yeah, interested to see how that plays out. But, yeah, look, Raiders-Tigers, not exactly a standout match on the sheet this week. Dragons-Sea Eagles, I'm not sure whether this one is either. It's at Oakey Jubilee. Dragons get some numbers back, though, which means that Damien Cook ends up back at 9. Jacob Little ends up back on the bench. Sewer, Jack DeBellin and Saleh all back. So good for the Dragons, not so good for Supercoach if you bought Damien Cook last week.
Good for non-turbo owners as well, thank God.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I'm terrified. We should have a segment, who are you most terrified about not owning this week?
Yeah, it's literally like Walsh against who they play, the Cowboys. That could be anything.
My head-to-head opponent messaged me. He's like, "Hey, you looking for trades?" I was like, "Cook, same as you." And I said, "Are you scared of playing Reece Walsh?" And he's like, "Terrified." And I was like, "Good," because I'm terrified of owning him because he literally win or lose.
Yeah, it goes both ways. That's the same with Turbo. Like, you're terrified about owning him because of what's happened this year, but you're also terrified of the matchup because he could score 200. He's the second most purchased player this week, Tom Trbojevic, for very good reason. Look, the Dragons concede the most tries to fullbacks as well. 14. I think the next closest team is 11. So, concerned as a non-owner, that's for sure. It could be like behind the couch type. I might not even turn it on. Might not even watch this game.
And Turbo's back as well. Like, you got to factor in that. He's back.
He is back. He is, back in inverted commas. Yeah. Lehigh Hopewadi could be an option.
Such a March basketball game. Like, we're going to be literally looking at Turbo's 5-round average and be like, oh my God, he averaged 110 to finish the year. And then you look at the games that he played, it's like just a bunch of meaningless football.
How many times are we going to say that in the preseason next year? It's like, yeah, but Turbo finished the year, averaged 112.
Yeah, of course.
It's very rare that we ever put a player in two categories in the positional tiers when we do preseason content, but Turbo will be in the centre wing and the fullback tiers. Just as an excuse to talk about him a little bit more. He will be on the thumbnail for both episodes, just so that we can... Yeah,
we'll just copy and paste the centre wing thumbnail with Trell and Turbo into the fullback thumbnail.
Rate it. Anybody else you'd look at here for the Dragons Sea Eagles? Because it's a matchup where there could be some points scored, Matty. Like, where are you looking here? If you had a trade up your sleeve, is this a game you target?
No, it does seem like a bit of a dead rubber and a little bit of a trap game for me. I'd probably target one of the teams that have, in my opinion, a little bit more to play for, and will really throw everything at them. Is that
a good segue into the next game then?
Oh yeah, probably would be.
I was just going to highlight Ange saying Gutho. I reckon Gutho could be a sneaky little play. But also, friend of the show, Ryan Hammond, I think this could be the week. This is the week for Moneyman Tuipulotu.
Yeah. Oh, let's hope he... I think we would have held him. I don't know whether he's got any... Actually, no. You know what? Hamo is very patient with trades this year. I think it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was like, I've got 8 trades and a boost left. And I'm like, what do you mean? I've got like 2. So he's in a pretty good spot. I reckon he's got some trades to burn this week. It's a shame that the 2 trades that he got from one of us, and I'm not going to mention who, it was me, shit the bed last week and did nothing. I think he got Philip Sami and Adam Dewey. So go me.
Can I just mention 2 things on this game? That's the most we've talked about the Dragons all year. And
what do you mean? I bought Gutho in round 3. He was the talk of the town, mate.
Yeah. And secondly, we all know that I'm an analytical deep dive guy. I just spent the last 5 minutes that Braino was talking, trying to work out how the West Tigers can finish 9th so that I can complete a joke that I made about 5 years ago. They still can finish 9th, so that's good.
Trust me, every West Tigers fan wants to finish 9th. It's safety, it's security. It makes you feel blindsided. So we all want the Tigers to finish 9th.
Don't you just want Luke Brooks back? He feels like 9th.
You know what feels good?
Too far there. I think
it feels like a warm blanket, right? It is finishing not last. That is a warm blanket for a Tigers supporter after the last 3 years we've been through. It was so funny. Like on Twitter last week, everyone was like, Tigers season's over. I was like, bro, our season was over 3 weeks ago. We couldn't win the spoon. Anything else is a positive. Mate, we've been partying for 4 weeks. Like, every win that we get this year has been a Mad Monday bender. That's how we've been celebrating this year. Let's move on to your Broncos, Matty. They're at QCB against the Cowboys, mate. So they're away, but I don't think that matters. Adam Reynolds is on the extended bench, though, which creates a fair bit of concern for Reece Walsh owners as to whether he holds onto the goal kicking or not. They're going to give him every chance to get through captain's run before they completely rule him out. Fuck, he's back early, though. What do you think the chances are of Reynolds playing this week, Matty?
6%. Also, I think, like, after Reno goes down from a hamstring injury, like, he's not going to walk back into the goal kicking. If it is, he's going to be on the bench and try and, work his way back through it, like rotate Billy through 6, and then, slip him back into that normal hooker role. Like, yeah, it might just be about, if he's feeling good, maybe he can get out there and play 25 minutes. But yeah, he's not going to come back and destroy your Reece Walsh captaincy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
I hope not. Yeah, look, Walsh still most purchased player in the top 10% this week. So as you should when he's gone 300s in his last 4 weeks. With a nice matchup coming up against the Cowboys, who have conceded many, many points. Karapani, if you're a Karapani or a Shibasaki owner this week, you should be licking your lips as well. The Cowboys concede 33 tries to left wing, left centre combos this year. So that could be an absolute disaster for the Cowboys. I think, look, if you've kept Shibasaki, full credit to you. But if you bought Karapani and hopefully held, then this is the week to play. If last week wasn't an indication to play him, this week certainly is. Anybody else stand out for the Broncos? You're not obviously buying any Cowboys. What do you do with Drinky? If you got 19, are you tempted to sit Drinky, or you just got to play him because the Broncos are a bit leaky as well, Josh?
Yeah, I think you play him. Like, he's the pains me to say, but he's the best player this year in terms of points scored. So yeah, you play him. I think there'll be points. Yeah. I'm playing him. There's no way that I'm not. So.
Well, I don't think either of us can be picky at this point of the year.
But even if I had 3 trades and a boost and I own Drinky, like,
just hold on.
Yeah, I've got bigger issues than not playing him.
Yeah, it's not like there's a ton of gun fullbacks putting their hand up either. Like, aside from Turbo, like, that's relatively low owned. I don't know whether there's anybody else you'd want to replace him with.
Have you made it? Thank you to our inside scoop at the Broncos. Have you heard anything on Reynolds? Like, is the 6% stuff that you've heard, or is it just a gut feel?
No, it's just gut feel. I haven't heard anything when it comes to Reno. It's just, surely he's a big asset that you want to play in finals. It's just going through the motions. If you get through captain's run, let's see how it goes. But they're not going to push him. It's hamstring. He's not going to be goal kicking. Nothing official, just feels.
Vibes.
Yeah, we love vibes. Let's move on to the games that matter. It took us 32 minutes and 58 seconds to get here, but the Sunday is where you're going to win your grand final head-to-head. It is Sharks versus Knights. The Knights are halfway to Bali. Actually, I think they're nearly 3/4 of the way to Bali.
No, new coach bounce. I'm worried.
Yeah, but it's still going to be Adam O'Brien this weekend, isn't it? Or is he immediately gone?
Is it? Yeah, but then they're playing for the coach, like, goodbye.
Yeah.
So,
anyone like him there?
You go high and sell.
Yeah, move him on. No, on a serious note, I think there's relevance here in this game. Kale Iro, he's back. If you've got to trade Kale Iro, bringing Kale Iro in to mark up against Fletcher Hunt.
Fletcher Hunt,
James Schiller.
Shout out.
Oh, gee whiz. Return. He pushes Talakai to the bench. Jesse Colquhoun as well at lock for McInnes. I'm super excited. Not for SuperCoach, but I'm excited to watch Jesse Colquhoun get a crack. Big fan. Brayley, Nico, and Iro are 3 to 5th most purchased players this week. Ronaldo is 9th most purchased. So people are obviously targeting this game as they really should, considering the Knights have been pretty ordinary over the last few weeks. And it's props as well. If you've got AFB and you are in a luxury position to potentially sit someone, it wouldn't be AFB this week. The Knights have conceded 18 tries to props. That is like matching most teams, or more than most teams have conceded to left wingers. It's just insane stat.
I saw that stat last week, and that's why I captained Haas, and Haas roll over as well. So, like, they're just so bad to the middle.
Oh, it's wild. Like, 18 tries to props. Like, some teams haven't conceded either of that to their
That's
left
like
and right
one
wingers.
every just 0.75 games this year. Like that's crazy.
Wild. Kaylero's the guy, isn't he? Like, if you're going to take a crack at a guy who's got really strong base, a good floor, not going to hurt you, but he's scored a try in every game he's played this year, Matty. Like, you probably need to have a punt on him first game back. It's just the hamstring that's the concern.
Yeah, it is. But look, it's one game. Could win you your week. Can I interest you in a Hiroti? Jeez, wasn't he on everyone's radar this year? He'd be if you can't afford it. I don't hate it. If you can't afford Hero, what's Hero? 700 odd K.
Yeah, don't mind it. I think you're still just going to go that left side. I don't know. What do you reckon, Josh? Like, is it Hero or Hiroti? Is this going to be a Ronnie versus Sione Katoa battle again?
No, because I'm not like looking at either of these. Like, if I'm not going Euro, then how much is Hiroti?
He'd be cheap, like sub
420?
500, 450 or something.
Really? I thought he'd be way more than that because he's been like half decent.
Nah, he crashed heaps.
Oh, he's 436. Okay. If that's all you've got, then yeah, probably the best pick at the price. I was like more thinking Crichton, but he's still like 600. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's pretty much it really for this game.
Look, Adam O'Brien's going, right? Most purchased Jacko Hastings next year.
Honestly, he
halfback too.
probably will start. Is he still at the right?
No, I thought he signed in the Super League.
Oh, right.
got signed with the Super League team?
You went back. Yeah, no. Yeah. Oh,
He's long gone. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not. Sorry.
What's it gonna?
I'm not up with my Super League.
Is it going to be Mattrix's boy, and Dylan Brown? What a halves combination.
Could be good. Or
Fletcher
terrible.
Sharp and Dylan Brown vibes.
Rate it.
I reckon
Mattrix,
Newcastle's going to be a very vibey team next year.
Yeah. Mattrix saying he's not up to date on the Super League is a complete cop-out because the bloke sends us photos every Saturday morning at work with the Super League on the fucking work TV.
In the foyer where that's all it's on at like 8 in the morning.
Yeah. Cars in the background, just like with a flex.
Hey,
yeah, look,
Do you guys love my messages? Did you guys get? I didn't even get a reaction. This is how these guys like my contributions to the group chat. They didn't even comment when I said I spent $800 for a Switch 2 to play the 1991 classic A Link to the Past at like 1 o'clock in the morning the other day when I said it to you.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't even get
1991 is well before my time. I was not even a twinkle in the eye in 1991.
I was born in 1991. And so I still don't care. Because I don't play any of those games. And also, if you're messaging me at 1 a.m., you well know that I am asleep, and I have been asleep for a good 3 or 4 hours.
Because the last time we entertained Mattrix's gaming at 1 o'clock in the morning, he was delivering parcels on that
He was. Shout out Death Stranding. What a game. So much so that I started to play that. And, I reckon I could get myself into it if I dive in. But the Metal Gear Solid remake of number 3, Snake Eater, just came out. So I'm well into that at the moment. Let's move on to the final game of the week. It's Dolphins-Titans. Imagine sitting in a league, right? And you got money on the line and you're relying on one of your Dolphins or Titans to help you win a head-to-head grand final. It just makes you vomit a little bit in your mouth.
By Trey Fuller.
This is a Cancun game if I've ever seen one.
100%. Nicarima's back in the 6. Avarillo goes back to centre. Hammer's also been named at centre. Interesting to see because that happened last week. And then they did the little swapsy and Fuller ended up at centre. Hammer went back to fullback. So I'm interested to see whether Wolf does that again or whether they keep it like that. We'll talk about Hammer a little bit later. Tino's also the sixth most purchased player this week. I think that's kind of wild. Brimson, the 10th most purchased, I can get around because I've got some stats for you a little bit later on fullbacks against the Dolphins. It's a stat, that's for sure. Jeremy Marshall-King, the 7th most purchased. So everyone's looking at this game. Now, the wingers for the Dolphins are the guys that I'm looking at. It's if you want to get ultra spicy, it's David Nafahu or it's Jermaine Asako. 20 and 18 tries to left and right wing conceded this year from the Titans. You look at the left edge for the Titans, though. They have the right edge, the left edge in attack. They have conceded 21 tries to left wingers, 12 tries to left centers, 10 tries to left edges, and 10 tries to props. And the Titans have conceded 18 to right wingers as well. Like
Imagine
everyone gets it. It's like Oprah. Everyone gets a try.
Thousands of dollars on the line for SuperCoach head-to-head finals. And you look down your app and your last player, you need 80 points. You look down at Tavita Nafau.
No, I'll tell you one better. You look down at Jalen de Groot. 18 tries to right wing as the Dolphins have conceded. Imagine relying on Jalen de Groot to win you a head-to-head, Granny. Goodness me.
This is where we're at. This is peak SuperCoach.
Oh, it's round 26, that's for sure.
It's not about the round 3 bubble when we boost for cheapies. No, it's do I buy Jalen de Groot or Tavita Nafau?
Or Tavita Nafau. What a time. I should have put them. I should have put them on the thumbnail.
Remember back in round 3, it was Teddy or Gutho? This is what we've come to.
To be fair, those wing stats are as bad as AFB to score against the Knights, to be honest.
Insert Mark
It's
Jackson.
about the same
What
amount of
happened
tries.
to the game I love?
Yeah, that's what it is. Now, let me give you this. Brimson versus the Dolphins is the game. Like, honestly, the centre wing that I'd probably target. I think it was, I put a post up saying Kalero, Tamale, or Brimson as my 3 centre wing pods that I would target this week if I had a trade. The last 3 scores, or the last 3 round average that they've conceded to fullbacks is currently 176 points per game. That's 189 to Teddy, 155 to Walsh, 180 to Turbo. That's the last 3 rounds in a row that Dolphins have conceded those kinds of points to fullbacks. And I'm not saying Brimson's ever going to go and get 180. Watch him go and get it this week. But honestly...
Do you want to know what those 3 fullbacks have in common as well?
Are they all good?
They've all played Origin. And AJ Brimson has also played Origin.
He's played Origin. Yeah. Has he had a newborn kid recently? That'd boost it up a little bit.
I'm going to look it up.
We need narrative. That's what we need. It was Jake Simpkin a couple of weeks ago. I think someone else had a kid recently as well. I can't remember who it was, but
Is it Teddy?
yeah, it was.
It was
Yep.
Teddy. Oh, Teddy
That's why
captain
he's
is
got
like
36.
And he scored
Yeah,
36,
yeah.
so he's ruined that narrative for us. Yep. But this is
That's
the
why I
game,
brought
isn't
him
it?
in. That's
Oh, in
why
a
I brought
breakup.
him
I don't
in.
blame him.
Yeah. We need to be monitoring athletes' Tinder profiles and see how active they are. So,
Yeah.
any of our female audience out there, I think there's about 3%. Just let us know if you come across any heartthrobs on Tinder. Let us know.
Yep. Love it. That is the games. There's obviously a big focus on Sunday. You've got an idea on where our heads are at. Let's have a chat about captaincy.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
All the best, Stinger. Captaincy this week is brought to you by Ryan from Astute Newstead. And for those of you that are homeowners, maybe you're in the market, maybe you're looking to get in the market, it's not Nico Hines, it's Ryan from Astute Newstead. Similar good-looking blokes. But if you want to get yourself into the market, you want to save some cash, then Ryan's your man. If your rates are above 5.4%, he can get them lower. Give him a message. The link is in the description below. Let him know that we sent you. He'll do it for free. He'll get you the best deal possible to look after you and get you into the market. Captain, my captain, not a chance. IJ, sorry, pal. Karaz versus the Panthers. He is currently the most vice-captained player. Do you reckon people just gravitate towards the first game of the week, Matty, or is it more the Panthers are putting out a third-string team and Karaz could do a number on them?
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's both, honestly, in this case. I think he's a great captain option and he does play first game of the week. If you are a little bit more casual and you're not, want to give yourself 5 minutes between the 6 o'clock game and the 8 o'clock game, it does make a lot of sense to vice captain on the Thursday. I've often always thought. But I really can't talk you out of captaining Karaz against the Panthers. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited to see how Sonny Luke goes this week. I've heard that he could be a great football player in the future.
Yeah, my 2023 SuperCoach team also felt that way. That was a fun year. Yep. Look, I think it's a great option. I think Karaz could absolutely do a number. Stephen Crichton and Karaz, who are they going to come up with on the left? Like, that's the question, I guess. It probably doesn't even matter, to be honest. They're put out a second-string reserve grade team. Their Jersey Flag or their Cup team has to find players from outside the development squad and all sorts of other shit. It's a complete mess.
Maybe have a run.
So Crichton and Karaz, as per tryline.com.au, are going to be up against Fanua and Jesse McLean. So, I mean, look, I don't think it matters. But, he's a good option for sure. Tom Trebojevic against the Dragons, 8.9% VC'd at the moment, 3.8% captained. I think if you own him, this is the week to have something on him, Josh. Like, is it... I mean, there's some good matchups a little bit later in the week, but I think you've either got Turbo or you've got Walsh. I don't know whether you've got both. Who's your pick? If you had to pick one out of Walsh or Turbo as the better matchup for, let's say, a VC, who's it going to be?
I will take the guy with the goal kicking. So I'll take Walsh, but I'm terrified of not having Turbo. I'm against him in every one of my head-to-head. So I'm going to be having a generational hate watch on the Dragons. I cannot wait for them to let me down once again. But yeah, no, for me it's Walsh, but it's razor thin, and it's just the goal kicking that sways it for me.
Yeah. Look, if I had Turbo, I'd be definitely having something on him VC into potentially a Nico C back end of the week, depending on your matchup as well. Like, it's very hard for us to go and say, hey, here's the best option. That's why I kind of like I don't know about you, Matty, but I like leaving my captain as late as possible in these head-to-head must-win matchups, so I can pivot and chase points if I need to, or I can play it a bit safer to lock in a win, so to speak.
Yeah, I do get that. I also just don't want to let it ruin my Sunday if it happens on a Saturday. So it could just ruin you. It could just ruin an extra day.
In saying that, like we're saying, like for me, Nico Hines is the best captain, and it's not close. But if you're 100 points behind come the Sharks game, and you both have Captain Nico, it's probably not wise to do that. So it's very, very situational, of course.
For sure. We mentioned Teddy earlier is high VCC this week. I think people just haven't changed it. I wouldn't be recommending Teddy against the Storm this week, regardless of the fact they're missing some players. Reece Walsh against the Cowboys, 7.8% VC'd at the moment, 11.2% captained. Obviously, he's got the goal kicking. He's got 300s in the last 4 weeks. It's hard to argue against him. It's the question marks around Adam Reynolds. I think that might change things. If Adam Reynolds comes into this team, I think, when you got Billy Walters just getting the ball to Walsh in space and just going, hey, man, do your thing. And Ben Hunt's done a really good job of that too, to be fair, since he's been in the halves. He's just got the ball out to Walsh with space and let him do his thing. Whereas I don't know whether... I think Reynolds digs into the line a little bit more. I don't know whether he gets as good of a ball to Walsh. And same with Mam. Like, Mam loves to... I think I was listening to Todd Carney and Mitch Pearce's podcast the other day, and he was saying that Reece Walsh, since Ezra Mam's been out of the team, has been taking a lot of the short side stuff. Ezra Mam usually takes a heap of the short side stuff and gets a lot of points from it, and Reece Walsh has been capitalising on Mam being out of the team. So I found that interesting. But if Reynolds comes back in, I'd second guess that Walsh pick, even if it is a good matchup. It's probably still scores well, but does he score 120 that you would need to potentially loop him at that point? I don't know. Do we even need to talk about Nico, Josh?
No. It just is Nico by the length of the straight. Like, for me, famous last words, of course, but for the floor that Nico has and the ceiling that we know he can deliver, he's one of the rare guys that can go near 200, but also won't go below 40, which is a recipe for good things, especially in a head-to-head final against the Knights. Like, who knows what the Knights are going to dish up? If as much as like we do sit here and go, oh, vibes, bad coach. Coach back up last game, bounce back. Like, as much as we preach vibes in this podcast, we actually are quite analytical. And if you look at all the numbers suggest the Knights are horrible. There might be other factors like A or B, finally being sacked and a bit of relief off the Knights, but 25 rounds of football tell me that the Knights are comfortably, I would say, the second worst team in the competition. So,
Yeah, fair call. Fresh Prince, one thing we didn't mention in this chat is the potential of Haas being out with the flu.
Sure.
There's word floating around that he's going to be out. Look, that hasn't been confirmed, which is why we didn't want to kind of talk about it too much tonight. But look, if he's out, he's out. People are short anyway. You're going to cop an AE. I don't know whether people are replacing him or trading him out, so I think it kind of becomes irrelevant when everyone owns him as well. But also, like, the words and the quotes from everything is that they're going to give him every chance and that they're hopeful that he plays. And I don't know, it sounds genuinely 60-40 at the moment that he'll play. So it's hard to...
He's also one of those guys that you expect if he had the flu that he'd be legit, like, put me in, coach. Yeah. And maybe just see some reduced minutes this week. And honestly, Payne Haas playing 45 minutes is better than any other person I have. So
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the Broncos are 5th at the moment and could genuinely make the top 4 if the Warriors lose.
I think they could.
So, so like if the Warriors lose, they go into 4th. Like for me, it's like there's no way if Payne Haas is on his deathbed, he won't play. But anything other than that, I think he's getting up. He might be a bit of a reduced output if he's crook, but I don't see him sitting in a game that's nearly, we'll call it a must-win, so they get a second crack. That's my opinion anyway. Scotty Drinkwater, he is 5.5% VC'd, 8.5% captain. Maybe that's still off the back of last week. Coming up against the Broncos, I wouldn't be doing that personally. Jaden Campbell versus the Titans, boys. Or maybe AJ Brimson, even, if you wanted to get a bit spicy, considering they've put up a fair few points to fullbacks, Josh.
You know what? Jaden Campbell probably could score points against the Titans. That's how low their defense is. Queensland's other shit team, the Dolphins, is who they're playing this week. So
sorry, my fault.
I can't remember who put in the chat. Oh, here it is. It's from RJ. JC averaging 55 in the last 5 weeks with 0 attacking stats, not even a try contribution or a line break. Could go large. If he's averaging 55 and basically BP, then fantastic. So, yeah, could be definitely on the cards, and the Dolphins are not very good right now.
I reckon the Burleigh Bears could beat either of these teams at the moment.
Probably.
What's Jared Wallace's team? Derby
Diehards.
Yeah, get them in.
Yeah,
expansion.
I think they're about to get knocked out of finals. I'm going to go down to a game maybe this
Bad
weekend.
day to be Jared Wallace.
Yeah. I think I'm going to a T20 Max game this week.
What's a T20
Gonna go watch. Yeah, gonna go watch Chris Lynn play for the Toombul Bulls.
What's T20 Max? Is that just like Queensland Premier Cricket?
Yeah, but they have imports and stuff come in. My mates flew in from Perth to play in, so yeah, we have good sport up here, man. Like you wouldn't know being down in Sydney. We've got all these spectacles and yeah.
It's just it's a mixture of interstate and overseas in Queensland Premier Cricket. So it is Queensland Premier Cricket.
Okay, right. So it's not just like backwards fucking Toowoomba on Syntho pitches.
No.
It's
a lot of, or not a lot. Sorry, some like BBL players that are coming across use it as a bit of a tune-up before getting into the camp for BBL.
Josh Brown.
Yeah. Get him in.
Do you know that we got the chocolates blokes?
Yeah.
They're commentating it on one of the Channel 7s at the moment. There's a game on every night. Guys, get around it.
Can we bet on it?
Oh, probably. Actually, that's a good point.
If we can bet on it, I'll get involved.
I nearly said something that might have got us cancelled. I'll message you after.
Brandon Smith reference.
No. Anyway, moving on. Hamiso versus the Titans could actually be a decent matchup as well. I'd be tempted, even if he's at centre, I don't care. I'd be tempted because I reckon he could go he could score a hat trick this week against the Titans and score the best 97 ever. Yeah, potentially. I mean, the problem is he's fullback only. Bring back Hamiso centre wing. That's what we want, and he's got that next year, doesn't he? Is he locked into that?
Maybe.
I think he's close.
He's as much of a fraud as your boy Nanai. I remember owning Nanai, and Nanai's got a hat trick. 80-minute back row's got a hat trick and scored 97.
Like 80. Yeah. Hamiso's not a fraud though. Hamiso went on a great run for us back a couple of years ago when he was a very popular centre wing. No. So
Hamiso will always remember. I had that really hot spell for my Podwatch article, my captaincy article. I had a good 3-week stretch, and Hamiso was in there. So the Streets will never forget. Yeah.
Fuck. Good times. I think the consensus here is that you got to get a VC or get an armband on Turbo, get an armband on Walsh, and Nico Hines is the
double down with Taveta Nafahu.
Buy him, captain him. Enjoy your $10,000 or however it is that however much it is that you're playing for. No, in jest, I think there's some pretty obvious options this week.
If Just Toto Good's listening and you want to get back that number one spot, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make a drink. So.
Hey, we made these jokes about Kurt Donahue a few weeks ago. We were kind of saying it as a bit of tongue in cheek, and look at him go. He's been amazing. But guys, that'll do us. that'll do us. Head-to-head grand finals. Obviously, trades are limited and options are limited, I guess, at this time of the year, especially with all the restings and everything. But all the best with your head-to-head finals. Good luck. Hopefully you can get the chocolates or at least get the bragging rights over your mates in your leagues. We've still got one more week of NRL SuperCoach after this to go. We'll be back on Sunday to wrap up round 26, and then there'll be one more preview show for round 27 into SuperCoach finals that you'll see a little bit shorter content from us. You'll see one show a week come out, basically going through the players that we're targeting and looking at for the final series as well. So make sure you join that league code.
I did ask a couple of times, and we're obviously out of content, so we'll highlight this. Lauren Pate comes as my front row forward too. Thoughts on these numbers, please, lads. Uptick in minutes with no real props on the bench. I saw you ask earlier that he has like a 1.5 to 2 ppm. It's just not sustainable.
Not at the minutes.
Probably goes like a 1.2 for like 50 minutes. So if he gets like 65, then great.
Yeah, I mean, the question becomes, are you buying a front row forward with your final trade? Like, do you really need a front row forward at your final trade when you've got May and Haas? I'm assuming you got May and Haas, I trade. Like, it just depends on what you're looking for, really. I'm attacking a centre wing with some upside rather than buying a front row forward like Liram Batea. Nothing against him. He could do well this week, but I just think there's better options as purchases.
Can't believe we're mentioning Tavita Nafahu and Lauren Patel. It's
you know what?
Peak round 26 content.
I legit thought that this episode would go for 25 minutes.
Oh, he's already got it.
After looking at the team list. Yeah.
If you already own Lauren Patel, yeah, absolutely play.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Play. It just depends who you're sitting, I guess. But let us know on the WhatsApp. Yeah. That'll do. Good luck with your head-to-heads this week. Hopefully you can get some wins. Guys, we'll be back Sunday to wrap it all up. Catch you then.
Cheerio.